Hey everybody, thanks as always for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you come and hang out upstairs with us. And welcome to another episode of Multicade Mondays. Good to see everybody here in the live chat. People are still coming in. We went live a few minutes earlier than we normally do, so we'll have to wait for the meat of the show for the stragglers to come in so they don't miss the most important parts. Big shout out to this live chat. Big shout out to everyone who subscribes and follows this channel. Greatly appreciate your support as always. Definitely has been a challenging year so far outside of YouTube. So, which impacts things that happen on YouTube. So, but hopefully we could all just, have fun, chill out. I actually want to make a little splash screen that says home arcade. It ain't all that serious, bro. Everyone always has their panties in a bunch in this community, but that's probably because everyone's eagerly awaiting new products, new things to talk about, and things like that. Let's say hi to who's here in the live chat. We got the chat on the screen right now. We got Charlie Chuck is here, Rebels here, Chris is here, Andy's Game Room, Conti Dinda, Jason's here, Smoke Break is here as well. Chris C. If you're here, let me know. Andy's Game Room is here. Adam Kolb is here. Chris Klingsboro, who's been gone for a little while due to his work schedule, but he is back. Always good to see Chris in the live chat. Welcome back. And that's totally fine, man. People, y'all got lives, man. That's what replays are for, right? Although it's always more fun when you're part of the live broadcast. Is it not? Is it not? We're going to talk about a number of things tonight, including modding projects, as you know, because that's supposed to be a staple of this show. And we kicked off the year so far this year talking about a whole bunch of, we've had interviews, we've had special guests, we have even more lined up, which I've actually kind of pushed off a little bit more closer to March because, there's other content we want to make for this show. We don't want it just to be an interview show. But I do think that those kind of episodes, those kind of streams, in my opinion, add a lot of value. Like, I think they're great to talk to whoever's behind whatever product and learn more about it. And it adds value, insight, entertainment, stuff like that. So we're going to keep doing those. Just a heads up there, but probably not again until March because I got the Monday modding itch. It's time to do some mods, baby. It's time to do some mods and some upgrades, which we'll talk about here in the live chat. Thanks so much for sharing the Discord. We're actually going to talk a little bit about my Discord because there's something special about my Discord, which you might not be aware of. And we're going to share some stuff from members of my Discord here in the live chat. We're going to talk a little bit about the modding projects, talk a little bit about my thoughts today. And keep in mind, my thoughts are my thoughts. They're not meant to influence you or make you do things or anything like that. They're just, that's what YouTube is. I throw my thoughts out there. And if you take my opinion and if you agree with it, you do what you want with it. If you take my opinion and you disagree with it, you do what you want with that, right? I mean, all we do, like guys like me, we throw out information and entertainment for you to digest and do whatever you want with it. No one's forcing anyone to do anything, which I always find absolutely hilarious when I hear stuff like that. Quentin's here as well. Ritual Dello made it. Steve Sale is here as well. Scaredy Cat is here as well. Crazy Old Maurice, probably one of the best names on YouTube, is here as well. John's here as well. He's behind the wheel of his car. Chicago to Akron. He's on the road. He's road tripping it right now, listening to a little Multicade Mondays. Brooklyn Menace says, "I'm easily influenced. Your opinion is gold, P Dubs. You can learn a lot from listening and watching." There you go. There you go. All right. If you guys want the chat off the screen, give me a 1. If you want the chat on the screen, give me a 2. I prefer to leave it off the screen. That way, it helps you see things better. But we could put it back on if you guys really want it. Every time I take these votes, people always vote to have the chat off the screen. Like if I want to watch the chat, I'll stare at it on my phone or on my TV or on a separate window somewhere else, right? So you guys let me know if you want to see it on the screen or off. Crazy Old Marie says 1. Charlie Chuck says 2. Mitchy says 1. Chris says 2. Guys, it's tied 2-2. You guys got to give me your votes here. Um I got a poll in the live chat. Do me a favor, vote in that poll because there's a couple of polls I want to take. You guys are going to help Multicade Mondays as the weeks go by here. So, as you know, I don't want to leave these polls up for too long. So, you got to vote. You got to vote quickly. There's a vote in the live chat when it comes to the body project. So, for instance, we're going to start our first modding project. If you guys remember when I launched Multicade Mondays, we did a couple of full-blown cabinet modding projects, and every week I came back, let you know the update, showed off like quick videos, like quick highlight reels of this is the work I did so far, this is what we did so far. And then by the time it was done, we showed off the whole thing. And then, of course, I would do a separate YouTube video, like you call them like a showcase video. In fact, it's kind of like there's a showcase video pinned to the top of like when you go to YouTube, go to my channel right now, there's a Dungeons and Dragons arcade one up mod. That's like the last big modding project that I've done. It's pinned to the top. You make a quick like 8-10 minute video showing that thing off, showing that thing off. Wow, I'm actually surprised at the number of people that want the chat on the screen. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. That's new. So yeah, it's pinned to the top of the chat here. Let me give to my channel here. So when it comes to these projects, one thing I wanted to ask you guys is it more valuable and interesting to you to see quick produced videos and highlights like, hey guys, we finished the control panel and this is what we did. It only takes up like 4 minutes of the show, and then we have a whole lot of other content to talk about besides that. Or would you prefer that we do like we just do it live together? Now keep in mind I'm older, I'm out of shape. So there will be some cursing, there will be some sweating and things like that. So I don't know if you guys really want to see that, but for some reason people are always like, let's mod stuff live. I'm always resistant to that because you know when I don't want people hearing me huffing and puffing while I'm like screwing things together and stuff like that. But let me know in the live chat what interests you the most and stuff like that. I mean, you guys could probably make fun of me while we're doing these mods, I guess. Let me go right here. Oh boy, we got a lot going on here over the next couple of weeks. So where's the poll at right now? Right now, the poll's been going for 30 minutes. I'm gonna give it about five. I'll give it about 2 more minutes here, guys, and then we'll end this poll. Yeah, Kongs does it live, but my boy B Kong is not overweight, out of shape, and things like that. So he's not huffing and puffing and things like that. But he does do something that's absolutely terrible. He has his shoes off. He has his shoes off. You always got to have your shoes on when you're working on this stuff. Good to see the feedback. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll here. I gave you guys enough time to get your fingers in and show us quick highlights. 51% do it live. 49%. So there we are. There we are. So there you go. Yeah, just the highlights. Just the highlights. I don't think you guys want to see. I'm one of those men who sweat profusely. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should go to the doctor and there's a I heard there's like pills you can take that'll prevent your pores from like sweating. It just sounds weird to mess with your body that way, but man, I sweat profusely, guys. So I don't know if we want to go that route yet. All right, cool. Yeah, unless it's a long mod. There you go. I vote for more P-dubs butt crack. Yeah, there probably would be some butt crack there in the live chat. Okay, so let's start showing off some stuff here. So link for the Discord, Jason, if you want to put it in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it for the Discord. So I started my own Discord, and I know some of you are like so sick and tired of hearing about it, but I don't care. I'm pretty excited about it because we are building an awesome community there over on Discord. And one thing that you guys might not be aware of is we have this awesome channel or section in our Discord, and it's called Show Me Your Game Room. It's called Show Me Your Game Room. So, what's really cool about this is people who are working on stuff, they could head into Show Me Your Game Room, or if they're done and they just want to show off what they've accomplished, what their rooms look like. What I really like about this is it helps inspire other people like I want to add that in my game room, or I want to add that in my game room and things like that. And no two game rooms are ever the same. They're never the same, are they? So for instance, I'm just going to show you some. I promise people that if you participate in the Show Me Your Game Room channel thread here, What'll happen is on future streams, we'll show these off to people, and we've got a lot of entries here, but I'm only going to do like the first 4 or 5 for the sake of time because there's a lot of topics I want to talk about, and we'll do more next week. It's really cool to do this kind of stuff. So, for instance, the first person who shared something here is good old Giovanni. This is Giovanni in the live chat, and I'm going to pull up his picture here for you guys. I'm going to make it nice and big so you guys can actually see this thing. So this is Giovanni's game room. His and as you guys know, Giovanni does the frequency style arcade mods. If you want to get in touch with him and to order potentially like arcade one up control panels and stuff to make your own frequency style arcades, you guys can get a hold of him easily on my Discord. He frequents my Discord a lot. But taking a peek here, I mean, I can never, I can't do these guys. I can't do these kind of dancing on the pedal. Like I've never done this before. I don't have the what is it called? I don't have the skill set for something like this. I really don't. But shout out to him. So that's his current game room right there. And let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one. Did we get vacant code? Who did I get in here? I pulled a couple good ones. I think we got that's for later. Sneak peek, that's for later. Okay, let's see the next one here. This is Chaotic. So this is Chaotic on YouTube. He frequents the show. Uh, awesome. Here's his quick little lineup. You'll notice here that it never hurts to have a little bit of one of everything, right? So he's got the MVSX from Unico. He's got an iArcade right here, and then he's got a few Arcade One Up products right here. He's got the Killer Instinct. He's got the Atari Star Wars. He's got the class of '81, and I love the lighting in the room. I gotta say, I love the lighting. The lighting looks great in here. You could probably see a reflection here in the background of some purple light, that purple light pointed at the arcades. Really, I just love the lighting. I think this looks really, really good. So, how about a shout out to Chaotic for that one? Let's take a look here. This is another one that I saw that I enjoyed because not all game rooms have like just the home arcade stuff. Some people mix and match. Some people like the real thing, right? So this is I think his name is Trevor Four in my Discord. Really nice guy. He's kind of a guru when it comes to real arcades. He's always sharing some really great information for people in our channel about real arcades, how they run, how they operate, the mods he's done to them, etc. And if you take a look right here, he's got obviously he's doing some I think that's a let's see here. Is that a Legends? I can't tell. No, it's not. This almost looks like a Rec Room Masters control panel right here. And then, of course, he could play his arcade games on the TV. We got his Sega Astro City. Take a look at the characters up top on the speakers. That looks really, really yeah, that's you, buddy. That's you. I love your candy cab. I love what you did with the candy cab. And then, of course, he's got his Outrun, which he's very proud of. In fact, in our Discord, he was showing us pictures of before and after. He just put all the new stickers on, all the new stickers and stuff, and he brought this thing back to life a little bit. Nice little topper on top of this thing. Kick back, play some Outrun 2. So that looks pretty good in my opinion as well. So, I mean, you don't always have to have the home arcades. You could have the real thing, right? Either one is going to work. Taking a look here, right here. I got to remember who this is. Give me one quick second. Let's double check the Discord. I got to scroll down and find it. This is Doug Dog. This is Doug Dog. So Doug Dog. Oh, sneak peek for later. Hold on. Get that off your screen. So this is Doug Dog. And this I love to see. And you want to know why? Because the kids are playing the machines, right? The kids are playing the machines. And I think a lot of us forget what this community or this hobby was all about. It was not only for us to relive our youth, but also to pass these games on to the next generation of gamers, right? And to see, his kids right here playing. You got one playing Fast and the Furious. You got another one shooting it up on Time Crisis. I think that looks pretty cool in my opinion as well. And I love the fact that nobody has, oh geez, what is it called? Clutter. Like, am I the only person who has, like, an obscene amount of clutter in the house? Maybe it's because I do YouTube and I always have so many projects and things going on. But taking a peek here, here's another shot that he provided us showing that on the other side of the room, he does have a blitz, got his computer desk. I mean, you gotta make do with what space you have, right? So this looks to be kinda like a little den area in his home. He's got the nice piano going on here, stuff like that. So that's cool to see, man. Yep, Mitchie B, I agree. That's what it's all about. That's why I like that picture. And here's the last one as well. Now my buddy Keon, I don't know if Keon is here tonight. Keon, if you're in the live chat, give us a shout out. You don't have to hide in the shadows. Keon actually posted a video on his YouTube so we could then post it here or watch it here. So let's go ahead. I got to mute it though for sound. It's only 1 minute long. And let's go ahead and take a look at his setup. Now here's something that I've always wanted to get into. I've always wanted to get into fish, like aquariums. Like I've always wanted to have a cool looking aquarium with some badass fish or something in there. Maybe one of those what are those shrimp, the shrimp that they're like killer shrimp. You know, you like literally feed them fish and crabs and stuff like that. They're like praying mantis shrimp, something like that. Like I've always wanted to get into that. Like maybe one day I will get like an aquarium set up and learn how to, pH balance the water and all that stuff. But let's take a look. Let's take oh, whoa, he's going so fast. He's going so fast. So taking a look right here. I gotta pause it. It's got some great signs, Nintendo, Sega. Those signs are available on Amazon. I should know because I've purchased those in the past. Looks like he's got his own casino cade over here. He's got his own little slot machine. He's got his arcade one up Tron. He's got an iArcade, Street Fighter 2, Killer Instinct. And there's nothing wrong with having products from all these different companies, right? Like I always found it funny when people wanted to say, I'm only going to buy one product from one company or one brand. And it doesn't matter as long as you have games and you're enjoying them. Taking a look right here. Look at the great brick wall and then all the Atari sign, the Mortal Kombat. I think that's the arcade one up, light up Mortal Kombat sign, right? Then he's got this Williams, so he's got a multicade with an LCD screen on it. I don't know for sure what that is. Looks like it's a modded arcade one up, but he put like a bit LCD on it. That's got an arc playing right now. Got some Marvel vs. Capcom, Golden Tee, Ridge Racers, Star Wars, Tempest, Pac-Man. Holy cow, look at how big this room is. It keeps going. He's got plenty of arcade one-up stools. I usually sell the stools, and that's because I honestly just don't have the room for them in my home. I just don't have room for stools. I have like two or three, right? Over here, he's got his At Games Legends pinball. You'll notice he's got what appears to be a custom back box on it. I don't know if he did it himself or if he did whatchamacallit, if he did the buy stuff back box. Taking a peek here, play pinball here. Love that sign. I want to put that above one of my virtual pinball machines. He's got a light up Gottlieb pinball sign over here. And like I said, this kind of stuff inspires people. It inspires me to, hey man, it would look really cool if I had that sign in my house or something like that, right? I love the brick wall though. I love the brick wall touch. So looks like he had a little Jurassic Park character on top of his pinball machine there. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. NBA Jam. There's his Legends Ultimate Mini. He's got a little Nerf basketball hoop right there as well. What a killer room, right? Like, look at that. Talk about a man cave. Oh, that looks great. Oh, and he's got a dartboard right there, so that makes me happy. I get happy anytime I see a dartboard. So there you go. Shout out to Keon. That is all the time we have. And keep in mind, guys, if you check out the Discord, there are tons of people already submitting stuff, which we'll try and show off in future episodes of game room stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was really cool. So there you go. I don't know if it's wallpaper tiles. I would swear it was wallpaper, but Keon, if you're out there, let us know. Leave a comment after the show and let us know if that's legit uh, bricks, or if that's like a brick wallpaper that you put up to simulate it. All right, we got a brand new person here in the live chat. Let's see who this is. Way Too Fast for You is his name. Hey everyone, new to the community here. I was going to snag a one up machine, but then dug deeper and found the At Games Legends Ultimate, so I'll go with that one. I get it tomorrow and can't wait. There you go, man. Hopefully you enjoy your purchase. There you go. Hell yeah, dartboard. That's what it's all about. Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about some modding stuff, but let me get a poll going here in the live chat. All right, so it looks like sorry guys, we're not going to do it live. It the just doing which I'll be honest, I actually prefer it that way where I'll mod, I'll record, and then I'll just show you the status of the mod during Multicade Mondays until we have a chance to show off the final product. So I'm going to put a poll in the live chat, guys. This is as much as your show as much as mine. So during 2024, we've started with we kicked off the year trying to give you guys some entertaining and engaging content by having some interviews. We had retro signs come on. They sponsored giveaways and a discount code. We had buy stuff arcades come on. We got them to sponsor the show and do some giveaways for the audience. It was going to be on Multicade Mondays, but we ended up having to do it on a Wednesday, so it wasn't Multicade Mondays. But we had Barrels of Fun on last Wednesday. I got to interview them and talk about Labyrinth Pinball, which is more of a passion project for me personally. That hopefully some of you enjoyed who caught the interview. Stuff like that. Are you guys enjoying that? Do you want more of that? Do you want less of that? Just vote in the poll now in the live chat. I want to do some modding episodes. I want to get at least one of these projects out of the way. And then come March, we're going to have a couple more people on who I was going to do in February, but I was like, we got to get to modding. That's what this show's all about. Um, there you go. So, also, is there anything in particular you would want to see an interview of? Keep in mind one thing that one of the people we got coming on in March is an indie game studio. Uh, and I'm excited about that because I've been covering a lot more indie games. If you go check some of the other live streams on my channel, I've been trying to cover some of these retro inspired indie games, either making a short review video or just doing a live stream and showing off the game. We just showed off one last night, and that game was a bit of a challenge. I got a little flustered playing it. You can hear me crying like a baby while I'm playing it if you watch the replay, getting frustrated. But then, dude, I was exhausted. That Super Bowl took a lot out of me emotionally. I don't know about you guys, but that took a lot out of me emotionally. So, all right, let's check on the poll real quick so we can move on to our next topic. Do you like the interviews? Wow. Well, I mean, I don't even have to leave it up for a long time. It's at 92% yes. So let's go ahead and end that poll. Let's go ahead and end that poll. Interview with John from John's Arcade. See, I don't even know him. I know he has a channel, but I don't know him. I could try and reach out to him, see if he's willing to come on. That would be kind of cool. Pixel Games, the Donut Dodo developer, Pixel Games. Yeah, we could probably get them on. I like those folks. Mike Hawk says he likes the interviews. It's informative and a nice change in pace from the traditional home arcade podcast. Well, you always got to try and do different things to keep you guys, the viewers, engaged, which is what we're focused on here in 2024. Can I get Taylor Swift on? No, but we could probably get an imposter. Nice try though, guys. Geo, we're going to have Geo on. We're going to talk a little bit about his frequency arcades. They're taking off a little bit in the modding community. I've seen a number of people have picked those up. All right, so let me show you guys. Let me show you something really cool. So over the next 2 weeks, I will be doing the mod on our Pac-Man Cabaret cabinet, which I'm pretty excited about. So this is a project that's unfortunately I need to get off my plate. And I'm going to be transparent with you guys. My goal, of course, is when I'm done with this project is I'm going to flip this cabinet. I'm going to sell it when I'm done with it. But this is that arcade one up Pac-Man Cabaret. This isn't going to be a project that I keep like the Dungeons and Dragons mod I have. That one I'm going to keep for a while. The last one I did. this one, I just want to do this because I think it would be fun and creative, and then probably sell it because every cubic inch in your home is needed, right? Every cubic inch is needed to for room. We got new products coming, things like that. So what always interested me about this arcade one up Pac-Man or Pac-Man Plus Cabaret that they quietly released last year was only in oh geez, one of the stores, one of the big box stores. It was either Sam's Club. Yeah, it was either Sam's Club or Costco, I think, was selling this thing, right? So but I liked the cabaret shape. Like, I thought that they came up with a good idea here, and I was like, "What'd be really cool would be to turn that into, like, a 1942 or a 1943 cabaret." Now, as you guys know, 1942 had a low boy version of the arcade. So, I mean, that would be pretty easy. But there were some 1943s that were actually cabaret shaped. Traditionally, though, they weren't. Traditionally, they were the much larger arcade machines. So, but there were some people, like if you Google 1943 cabaret arcade, you'll see that there are some photos and pictures out there where some people did it. But I like the wood grain and I don't want to get rid of the wood grain. And I was like, well, how can we use the wood grain and make it I gotta get to the shot right here and make it better. So hold on. I'll find the shot right here because I'm gonna show you what we're doing here. All right, and boom. All right. So like for instance, what's cool about this side panels and stuff is it's already the wood grain we need. So all we need were some graphics to stick over top of it, as well as we needed a new marquee and whatchamacallit, as well as we need marquee, control panel, bezel art, all that stuff. So I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek here. So of we got our finally, the artwork has arrived. All right, you guys want to see it? Now, the reason I went with 1943 instead of 1942 is 1942 would have been the obvious choice, right? Because, very popular short cabaret. Oh my God, there's tape on here. I don't want to rip the artwork. Um, but 1943, hang on, stupid thing. All right, I got it off. In my opinion, 1943 has better artwork. So, like, all we need to do is take this artwork and stick it over top the side panels, as well as we have the artwork for the control panels, the bezels, and all that stuff. So take a look at that. So in my opinion, this is going to look beautiful. Easiest artwork mod in history. Just put a sticker on top of the Pac-Man artwork. So you guys want to see? Here we go. So, oh, look at that! Isn't that nice? So like in my opinion, the 1943 artwork looks better, as well as the 1943 marquee looks better than 1942. So that's why we're gonna do this. So that's your quick teaser starting next week. Because I plan on doing this mod in the evenings this week because I pretty much have most of the stuff. I'm gonna start doing the mod and showing you guys the progress and all that stuff. And then we'll obviously have the big showcase video. So that's the big teaser, the marquee, the control panel, the bezel artwork, all that stuff. What we're putting in it to run 1943 and other games. We'll walk through all that stuff too. So it should be a fun mod, in my opinion. And then, when I'm done with it, I'll put it up on Facebook Marketplace here in Arizona, as well as offer up, and I'll sell it to somebody only because I don't have room to keep it. Right. So it's like I need to do this mod in order to then sell it and make room. Does that make sense? So, yeah. So it's just a passion project I've been wanting to do for a long time is make a 1943 cabaret. After that is done because I need to get that done first. After that's done, then we're gonna do our Cubert and Primal Rage restorations. I've decided that whatchamacallit, the best way to go to get this stuff done is to kind of like detach yourself from the internet, right? Like, because I'm always like collaborating with people, helping people, talking to people, participating in live streams, stuff like that. So you're gonna see a lot less of that so I can focus on this stuff. Plus, let's be honest, if you stay away from other people, they can't pull you into all their drama and BS and all that kinds of stuff. So I'm just gonna go focus on these projects, get them done, make videos, and enjoy my life. You know what I mean? Which is what everyone else should be doing. If you're enjoying the broadcast, do me a favor, give us a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Um, so we're working on that. At Games just put out an update. Speaking of the At Games Legends pinball machine, and we're going to talk now about some current products that are out there in the marketplace. So At Games let people know, and this was nice to see, is Farside Studios, as you know, who own the Gottlieb license and have partnered with At Games. Farside Studios really doesn't do much with their pinball platform anymore, right? They just kind of maintain it on the existing consoles, and really they've licensed it out to Toy Shock, they licensed it out to At Games. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're licensing out at least the artwork stuff and the looks of things to New Wave Toys, who are making the mini pins, but those aren't really playable, they're more for decoration. But as you know, Fireside Studios really doesn't do a lot of that, but they are at least supporting these games. So as you can see here, they put out an update that they're going to be releasing the new Gottlieb 4K packs for the 4K pinball machine. Going to be coming out on February 23rd is the tentative date. So that'll be interesting because if you guys remember, we have February 20th. They're going to put in the firmware update, which will hopefully fix a lot of the Magic Pixel games and their issues. And then a couple days later, as well as they're gonna release, like, Snoopy and some other a lot of the other 4K packs, right, that people are waiting on that they pre-ordered and they can't download them yet. Like, they're gonna turn all that stuff on, and sure enough, the Gottlieb games will come out a few days later. So that's good to see, right? It's good to see that, they're doing the right thing, making it better, because if the Gottlieb games looked exactly like how they look on the HD machine, and let's be honest, they were some pretty rough versions of those games on the high definition machine. So hopefully that they're actually like really improving these. I'm not just talking about upscaling the image. I like that's lazy work in my opinion. But if they're actually spending the money, if they gave Farsight Studios money for them to invest and have a development team actually clean it up, make them look better, make them look more 3D, optimize them to make them look as good as you possibly can to run on that hardware. Let's be honest, because if you play those Gottlieb Pinball Arcade games on other platforms like an Xbox or whatever, you go play Pinball Arcade, don't the games look totally different? On your Nintendo Switch and stuff, they look more 3D, they look more immersive. Yeah, they're old ass Gottlieb games, but they look so much better on other consoles compared to the versions the low end Android versions, you could say, that they put on the Toy Shock and that they put on the At games. And that's mostly probably due to hardware limitations. Right now, you got a little bit more beefier hardware. Hopefully, they really like make it look better. You know what I mean? Because if all they do is upscale that same image of what those tables looked like, probably won't be as impressive, but if they actually like really made the bumpers and everything just look great and better lighting effects, the new ball animations, like hopefully, hopefully it'll be cool. Hopefully it'll be cool. Galga guy gave us a $2 super chat. Just wanted to say thanks. Keep up the great content. Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. So I'm not trying to get your hopes up. Uh I'm just reporting on what At Games is saying, and At Games is saying they've been hard at work crafting their Gottlieb tables to be ported to Legends 4K. So, in my opinion, when I read that, I'm expecting them to not just upscale the existing image, but to actually make the whole experience better from a visual point of view, as well as how they perform and stuff like that. So, it's not on me, it's on At Games and Farsight Studios to make it look really good. Also, they did mention right here, quick bullet point, that they're going to do obviously every February. Well, I'm sorry. Usually they would do National Owners Day around Valentine's Day, but you notice right here, they haven't done a National Owners Day in February yet. They said they're going to reveal more info about National Owners Day on February 20th. So I guess we'll find out the day they do their firmware updates and all that kinds of stuff. So and there's a picture of your Legends 4K pinball packs. Now, what the only thing that kind of stinks is probably the games, the way they look on the high def pinball machine. That's probably how they're going to stay if they're just doing this for the 4K, because they didn't mention anywhere else that they're not even going to try to tweak the high def versions in any way that you might already own. So that's kind of a bummer, right? That's kind of a bummer. So we'll see. We'll see. At Games needs to fix Adam's Family. Yep, supposedly they're working on it according to their latest update. So hopefully that'll get fixed as well. Any new high def pinball tables coming for Nod? Well, I'm assuming. And keep in mind, guys, this is an assumption that the Natural History Pinball Pack 2, possibly the Microsoft Rare Games, Battletoads, Killer Instinct, Sea of Thieves, those are all supposed to come out on the high def version as well as the 4K versions. I'm assuming hopefully by Nod they at least put up pre-orders, maybe show some footage, like get people excited that this stuff's coming out. So that's what I'm assuming. Like one of those, if not both. More likely, probably the Natural History Pinball Pack 2, because that was announced before Battletoads Killer Instinct and stuff. So, but you never know. You never know. We'll see. Either way, so I spent a little bit more time. What's up, Chaotic? I showed off your game room earlier that you showed off in my Discord. Go check out the replay, buddy. When it comes to the At Games Legends Pinball 4K, so just a heads up, I spent a little bit more time with it this weekend. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and film it's gonna probably end up being like a quick review, as well as some upgrade videos and a couple how-to things. A lot of this stuff because At Games has people that they provide this stuff to in advance for them to make videos on. A lot of this stuff probably already been covered, but then again, my review is my review, right? Now, luckily, At Games did announce that, hey, man, we're aware of these issues with the games, with the frame skipping, the lags, and stuff like that that they're working on it. Because I'll mention that like during my review, like here's the day one review. But obviously, as things develop, we'll still cover it here for you guys and try and make sure you guys at least get some feedback on how I think it's going. What I can tell you is I spent more time with it, and just like I told you in my prior streams where I was, expressing my disappointment in the performance of the games. Sure enough, what did I say? When you play virtual pinball, what happens? Your brain will adjust. So sure enough, I'm playing the Magic Pixel games, the ones where, there's a stutter because it's the frame skipping's all over the place. And sure enough, you get used to it, and I was doing pretty well, played a few games and stuff like that, but you can only imagine how good it's gonna be when it actually plays as well as it does on the other machine here that doesn't have those issues, right? Adam's Family, I still can't play it. I mean, some people say they adjusted to it and they think it's fine. I turned off all the settings. I turned off ball trails and pop-ups and stuff, and did it improve it? Yeah, but still it feels like I have to hit the button way too soon than I need to, right? So hopefully they nail that down with Zen Studios as well. In my opinion, the product's in its early stage of life. I think when it was released, the day one firmware update should have had all 15 original tables built in, as well as Zen Studios, the one Zen Studios game. This is just my opinion. You guys gotta let me know if you disagree or not. Those all should have been running at 60 frames per second and smooth and beautiful and looking good, right? Like, okay, maybe Adam's Family, because we all know the history with Zen Studios. Whenever they release something new, there's always a flipper delay, and then they always have to go back and fix it. But the other, like, 14 Zakaria Deluxe games, like those all should have been running smooth and perfect, right? Like day one firmware update. Because what I would expect is when I get that product and I spent 1,500 bucks on it, the included games pretty much have no issues. And then what would happen is as new games get released, if those new games have a bug in them, that can happen. And I personally would be a little bit more forgiving over that, right? Like, okay, they released this game and this bug slipped through QA and they're going to fix it. And those games will get fixes down the road, right? Like, I don't think I'm being too hard on at games for that kind of feedback. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. Like, when they released Snoopy on February 20th, if the Snoopy game has issues, I would kind of expect it, and maybe they would fix it and like do another patch shortly thereafter, right? But like the game's out of the box, like it should have been ready to go, and it just feels like everything was rushed, right? Just feels like everything was rushed. But as I spent more time with the machine, minus the smaller DMD, like it's a very solid product. Like you could tell they put a lot of effort into it. You could tell that the new user interface is freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. I love the new user interface. And I love the fact that like when you navigate on the user interface, like if I pick a game, all of a sudden it does these cool animations on the back glass and it shows me like the top 10 people who have the top 10 high scores on the table. Oh, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I've turned it on and off like 10 times and I only had to log into the machine once the first time I powered it on and had to do the day one update, set up my Wi-Fi, log into my ArcadeNet account. Guys, I've turned that thing on and off 10 times and it's still there. I'm still logged in. And if there's one thing that was a pain point with that games products was every time you turned on their machines, you had to log back in, right? You had to log back in. So, so yeah, there you go. In my opinion, this could be potentially the best product that games has ever released. But they really got to get the games performing the way they need to be performing. And I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with it. For what it is, right? For what it is. Let's go ahead and get your guys' feedback in the live chat. Yeah, the login feature is the best feature. Yeah, yeah. I only had to log in once, guys, and that makes me excited. Yeah, I could do some OTG videos. I don't have a problem with doing those. The OTG mode, working good. You know, it's just the built-in games. You know, you kind of expected it to be vice versa, right? Like when they advertise that it's easily connect your PC and you'll be running OTG, right? But there'd be issues, right? It's kind of funny that it's vice versa, right? Meatball Saucy's here. I have not installed the SSF kit yet, and the reason why is if I'm gonna do a quick and keep in mind, I'm gonna keep it a quick review. If I'm gonna do a quick review for the machine, I gotta show the machine how it comes, like stock, and then do a video with like the control panel, the SSF kit, like all that kind of stuff. Maybe you guys have seen other videos from other content creators about that stuff, but I don't mind being the last one to the party if that makes any sense. I still think people will tune in and watch and check those videos out. So there you go. Um, there you go. Yep, yep. I we were talking about this as well a couple minutes ago. So hopefully they'll actually do this stuff on time. If there's one thing about at games is over the years, with their firmware updates, they 90% of the time they miss their deadlines. However, the last time they promised something to happen on a certain date, it did happen. There was a firmware update for something. Was it the Gottlieb table update? Like they said, it's going to happen on this date, and it happened, right? Like there was a couple that they've managed to kind of dial that in a little bit more, right? But then again, dude, it's at games. They might come back and say, you know what, guys, it'll be March. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. I was hoping the 49ers would win because I hate the Chiefs. My apologies, Chiefs fan. And I was a little disappointed that the 49ers lost at the end, but I'll tell you what, it was a hell of a football game. My wife and I were on the edges of our couch during overtime, like watching everything. We're like, "Oh my god, they're going to do it. They're going to win. Mahomes is going to win again." And he did. Like it was a great football game. The halftime show, in my opinion, sucked, but the football game was great. So there you go. Let's see here. What else we got? Also, don't forget that next month, starting in like March, April, if you're a big fan of multicades, you're probably going to see more content coming out on the airwaves from myself and others for products such as the Polycade Sente, which is supposed to ship provided there's no delays. You also have the Unico Nova Blast. People are going to start getting those. Do me a favor, make sure you guys check out Neo Severa on YouTube. Neo Severa's got a great relationship with the Unico team. I don't know for certain if he works there or not, or if he just partners and collaborates with them, but Neo Severa typically is the go-to guy when it comes to anything with Unico. In fact, a lot of times when people post pictures or videos or make videos on YouTube or whatever about those products, usually he's the source. So you definitely want to check him out because I believe he's going to have his Nova Blast very, very soon. I was talking to him the other day and he said that it shipped. So, but it's coming from overseas. So, as you guys know, that takes time, right? So, he'll probably be the first one to get their hands on it. So, if you're really interested in that product, go subscribe to Neo Severa on YouTube and just wait for his videos and posts to go up about that machine. I'm pretty excited about it because it'll be fun as always. What I like doing every year is covering new things. I like talking about new things, and it kind of stinks that some things don't that we're not getting as much new stuff as we used to. You know what I mean? Bush and Ryu said he gave a super chat. Let me scroll up and find it. My apologies, I missed it. $5. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. What a close finish. Can I ask you about the machine on your left under the live sign? Love that Tate style. Yeah, that's the At Games Legends Ultimate Mini. I have the Tetris edition, which was a limited art variant they sold of that. You could still buy one today, but it'll be the, traditional black colored At Games Legends Ultimate Mini. That one though, honestly, I'm probably gonna sell, guys. As you know, I got all this new stuff coming. I only have so much space, as well as so much space downstairs in the new arcade room that we're working on. So that one's probably gonna be a sacrificial lamb. I think after I do like some videos downstairs of the Adams family, I think I'm gonna put the Adams family right here next to the other machine. That way I can keep the virtual pinball machines side by side. So I think that Tetris will be replaced with the Adams family machine. So just a heads up if you guys are curious. And one of these Legends Ultimate's going to go. I'm going to keep one. Probably going to put either the Polycade or the Unico Nova Blast. Probably put one of those behind me here and get rid of the extra Legends Ultimate. So, this will still be kind of like the multicade room, whereas downstairs is more dedicated pinball machines, arcade machines, all that kinds of stuff. There you go. There you go. Also, what else did I have for tonight? No, I don't know. No, it's not only Tetris. Yeah, it's not only Tetris. You could play, I got the Coin Ops Whopper build on there, so it's got a whole bunch of vertical arcade games, stuff like that. So with this, the Coin Ops team, from what I've heard, I think that they're shorthanded from what I've heard, so that's slowed down the process. And there's a lot of testing and stuff they do to make sure that the games and the marquees and the artwork, the stuff that shows up in the menus, all looks good. Like from what I've heard, they're shorthanded, and that slowed down the process, as well as at games coming out with these 4K products where you don't have CoinOps X built into it anymore. So you're going to have to use this whole general loader thing, which everyone still hasn't really seen or knows what it is or how it works. I heard some people plugged in some flash drives to their Ekim's Adams Family pinball machine that had the UCE files, which are, if you guys remember, it's like you combine a ROM with this, and you process it through the Ekim's, whatever that tool was, and it created a UCE file and people were actually like playing some vertical games on their pinball machine. I haven't walked down that road yet. I haven't tested it myself yet. I got to find out what they're doing, how they're getting that to work for me to actually cover it and stuff like that. But you can play UCE files still via add-on X. Okay, good. Well, there you go. That's all they're doing. So add-on X is still there, just not CoinOps X. Yeah, there's no CoinOps user interface anymore, which stinks because I like pretty user interfaces myself. There once was a show. Are you talking about Legend Center? There you go. All right, we got about 5 minutes left here, guys. So hopefully you guys are a little bit more low key of a show tonight. So my apologies for that. Next week we're really going to dive into some modding with the 1943 cabinet. We'll show you what we're doing to it and what we accomplished so far. Although I don't have a lot of free time, I'll do as much as I can. And then also, I got some reviews I got to get filmed and stuff like that. I got content coming out for Numbskull, Coleco, At Games, Zen Studios Pinball M, Glenn's Shotgun, the GRS Shotgun, the Sinden Shotgun. I got Labyrinth, Cubert, Primal Rage. I got a lot of content coming out. I know some of the videos I've released recently probably haven't been that eye catching to watch because I've been covering some indie gaming stuff, and those videos don't get as many views. And trust me, when I put out those videos, I fully anticipate that. But hopefully, some of this other more hot ticket item stuff. Hopefully, you guys will do me a favor, click on that view button and check that content out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned this. So, if you caught one of my live streams over the weekend, I forget which one it was. Numbskull released a firmware update for their Space Invaders arcade cabinet, and you have to download a driver to your PC and a utility tool to your PC that'll, when you plug your Space Invaders Numbskull Quarter Arcade into your PC, it'll detect it, and that way you could reflash the new firmware. And what that firmware is supposed to fix is the audio. If you guys saw my review for the Numbskull Space Invaders Quarter Arcade, the machine is damn near perfect. It's probably one of the best home arcade products, or at least collector items I've ever seen in 4 years. Just what they put into that machine and how it looks, how it plays, all that stuff, beautiful. But they had one fatal flaw: the audio is just too quiet. Even at maximum volume, you can barely hear that little arcade. So they put out a firmware update that supposedly increased the volume by about like 15-20% via software. So, I downloaded the tools and I downloaded the driver. I downloaded the tool I needed to flash it. I plugged the thing into my PC using the cable that came with it, the USB to USB-C cable. My PC doesn't recognize the Space Invaders. So then I'm like, okay, this sometimes sometimes you got to put it in a certain USB port. Tried all the USB ports, didn't work. And then sometimes you're like, okay, maybe it's the cable, because sometimes you have a cable that, is supposed to be power only versus data, right? So I tried six different USB to USB-C cables, and my PC will not recognize and detect the Space Invaders for me to flash the firmware. I even uninstalled, reinstalled the drivers as well as the Android flashing software tools, uninstalled, reinstalled those. Same thing. I cannot get my PC, the one right here. I haven't tried my laptop yet. I'm going to try my laptop next. But I haven't been able to get my PC to detect the damn thing to flash it. I literally, something that should have only taken about 20 minutes out of my life took about 2.5, 3 hours of constantly trading out cables, looking for other cables in the house. You know what I mean? So hopefully I can get that fixed. Hopefully I can get that fixed. They only tested it on Windows 98. Did I get the new games on PAX today? I don't know what you're talking about, Polo. Mac OS. I'm not a Mac guy. I'm not an Android guy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a PC. I'm not an Apple guy. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. I'm a PC and an Android guy. Like, yeah. I'll just have to put it next to the Atari VCS. Yeah, the Atari VCS, which, By the way, big shout out. I don't know if he's still here or not. Carl O in the live chat. Carl O sent me an email with links with more instructions on how to like get that firmware fixed on my Atari VCS because mine was a brick. And I just haven't had time to do it yet. But one day, one day I'll get to it. One day I'll get to it. But here's my question. Any of you have an Atari VCS out there? And is Atari still supporting it? Are they still releasing like a lot of these new games? Are they still coming out on the VCS or are they just putting them out on Steam and stuff? And like, did they give up? Did they give up on the VCS? Let me know in the live chat, guys. It's been out for a while. Hasn't it been like 3 years or something with the VCS? Remy never opened his. There you go. Let me know in the live chat, guys. I'm very curious if any of you own the VCS and if they still support it. I bought a VCS to make sure I didn't miss anything, and nope, didn't miss anything. James Hates Everything says Atari VCF is going to have Polymega app support. That's interesting. Trev thinks that they'll still release games on it. VCS has and stream support. Yes, and that's one reason why I bought it. That's like the number one reason why I bought it. When I found out about that, I bought it, but mine was a brick out of the box. And their customer service was no help. No help. Yeah. Let's see here. Mitchie's got a great tip for us. When installing the surround sound feedback kit, guys, all my shakers were marked incorrectly. Had to pull them off with a paint scraper as not to ruin them and reinstall correctly. There you go. There you go. I'm not an Atari guy, so old Atari stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and make content on something I know nothing about. So there you go. All right. Well, do me a favor. If you guys enjoyed tonight's um, uh, tamer broadcast, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you as always for subscribing, and make sure you come back next week where we're gonna dive headfirst. Our summer of modding or our year of modding fun, which is on the thumbnail, begins this week. We're gonna just start focusing on our projects and ignoring everyone else's BS. We're just gonna focus on our projects and have a good time doing so. Do me a favor, guys. Give me a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, remember it's Monday. What do we do on Mondays, guys? Same thing we do every Monday. Before you go to bed tonight, go play your multicades. I'll talk to you guys real soon.